guys, welcome to another episode of The Crown Bee. I love it when you guys come here, especially when we spend time in my kitchen together. We're going to make a fun treat that most of you perhaps maybe just threw away, or maybe they're still on your tree because it's right after Christmas, and if you're like me, you probably just took down all your Christmas things. What a big job, right? Packed it away lovingly for next December, and most likely you might be left with a mountain of candy canes. And what do you do with those? Well, it just so happens if you take 2 candy canes and you marry them together, it makes a heart. So we're gonna make peppermint stick candy cane lollipops, and they're super easy to make. We're gonna make them with white chocolate. This chocolate I love. I got this from Michael's. It's wonderful to melt, super smooth. This is Sweet Tooth Fairy meltables, and this is vanilla, but you could do any flavor that you wanted. You could also flavor your chocolate if you wanted as well. And then you're gonna need some lollipop stick. And so these lollipops I'm making for my little grandkids, all 4 of them, my little sugar buckets. So I'm going to be using a shorter lollipop stick. Now you can see that candy canes come much bigger, so you can make a very giant one of these and make the chocolate a little bit thicker. And in that case, you would need a longer stick, just for stability, and some ribbon to tie around the base and a cellophane bag, and you have a beautiful gift. And all of this most likely you probably already had in your pantry. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, I'm going to go melt the chocolate just in the microwave. Now you can use a bain-marie, which basically is a pot, and you're putting another vessel on top of that, and you're melting it over top boiling water. So if you want to do it that way, you can, but I just stick this in the microwave. It's not that much in a microwavable bowl, and it melts super easy. So I'm going to go melt this, and I'll be right back. Okay, we've melted the white chocolate in the microwave, and I put it in there probably for about 30 seconds. It melts super fast. And this is wax paper, so this is perfect. And I wanted to show you guys too, my candy canes are coming into this project very well loved, because my little grandchildren, 7 and under down to a year old, help me put the candy canes on. So they're very well loved, and some of them are broken, but you can still use those too. This one right here kind of has a broken wing, but it's okay, because really all you have to do is dip it in the chocolate and you can join that together. So you're going to stick that right there. And also too, these can be fragile when you unwrap them, even when they're not broken. So if that happens, don't stress out, it's going to be fine. It's going to be just as delicious broken, and you'll be able to mend it. It'll be great. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put your popsicle stick, you're going to lay that in the middle, and then you're going to form a heart, just like that. And I put my stick up in there till it touches the points of the candy cane. And so then I just simply fill in the heart, and it's just as easy as that. And this will not stick. This will not stick to the wax paper. And then I'll just let it harden up here. Now you could do this on a baking sheet and slide it into your freezer to expedite that if you're doing a lot of them, especially. I'm going to be making 4 of them for my little sugar buckets. Okay. And I'm going to spread that out in there. Just like that. And you can see, even with the broken piece, that's going to stick to the chocolate. And it does not have to be perfect. I think sometimes when it shows the imperfection, it shows that they're handmade. And that's lovely. Just try to get it as smooth as you can. And sometimes chocolate will self-level itself out as it's... Now to mine, I thought it might be fun to take some of these broken pieces of candy cane, and I'm going to go ahead and crush them. I'm going to sprinkle mine on the top, because sometimes maybe you don't have sprinkles. I'm just going to put these in a bag. You may not have sprinkles on hand, and this way you can use the candy cane itself. Look how pretty that is. It's beautiful. Just as simple as that. And then you're gonna sprinkle it on. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, now I might add a little bit of sprinkles to mine. Look how pretty that is. That's beautiful. These look so yummy. Now you don't have to use white chocolate or vanilla chocolate. You can use dark. You can flavor it. Oh, this looks so pretty with the peppermint sprinkled on top of it. And you could stop right here and it would be absolutely perfect. But I'm gonna add some of these cake sprinkles. And basically it's just very fine edible sprinkles. And I think this will add just a little bit of a sheen. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, if you don't have sprinkles or you don't have extra candy canes, just plain is wonderful. You also don't have to use white chocolate. You can use dark chocolate. You could flavor your chocolate. Whatever you want to use will be wonderful. We're going to let these harden up and then I'll come back and show you what they look like all wrapped up and ready to give to your loved ones. Okay, I just pulled the lollipop out of the freezer and it's absolutely adorable. You guys are going to love this. Look how pretty. There's the back side. And look, there's the front side. Look how beautiful. Oh, and that white chocolate with the peppermint, it smells amazing. Now we're gonna put this in a bag. And I think this is a great presentation if you're giving it as a gift. But also too, I wanted you to know, remember how the one was broken? It's not broken anymore. Chocolate fixes everything, right? So we're gonna stick this in the bag. Hey, Wrigley. I'm gonna stick it in like that. And then I picked some polka dotted red fabric. I'm just simply gonna tie a little bow. I think these would make wonderful gifts for your loved ones. And then maybe make some for yourself. Look how pretty that is. You simply tie it in a little bow, and you have a beautiful gift to reinvent those candy canes. I'm gonna tie it in a bow, and it can't get prettier than that. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that lovely? How wonderful to get that as a gift. So pretty. Your own Valentine's lollipop. Okay, here's another recipe, as promised, to use up your leftover candy canes. And this one really is my very favorite because of how easy it is. This makes great gifts as well. You do not have to use the peppermint. If you have other things, cranberries would also be wonderful, dried cranberries in this with the white chocolate. This is the same white chocolate that we used for the Valentine lollipops. We're gonna still be using these meltables from Michael's. This is the Sweet Tooth Fairy, and these are great chocolates. I use these all the time. And just on a side note, don't over microwave them, and I might be speaking from experience, as it does burn easily, especially the vanilla. So what we're gonna do is I have a peppermint stick that I'm going to stick in a plastic bag again. You wanna maybe break this out to get it started if you can. And then your favorite rolling pin, and then you're just gonna kind of bust that up into little pieces. This is going to be your topping. And then simply what you're going to do is you're going to spread out the white chocolate on wax paper. This is wax paper that I'll put on a pan and stick in my freezer here in a minute. Now you can make as much or as little as you want. I'm just using the leftover chocolate from my hearts that I'm making for my grandbabies. And then this will set up fairly quickly. Now, depending on how thick of pieces that you want, you can spread that. Because what's going to happen is when this sets up, we're going to break it apart and we're going to make peppermint bark. And this is a wonderful treat to have during the winter months. Kind of looks like a ghost shape. It's like a little ghost. It's like Casper. Here. Set that aside. it'll kind of self-level itself. And then you add the peppermints. And this is a wonderful treat. You could bag this up in a lovely cellophane bag with a big red bow and give away for a lovely Valentine's treat to your loved one. I also think things like this would be wonderful, especially with COVID, people that are shut in. This would be another nice gift to drop off on their porch. Kind of brighten their day. Look how pretty that is. And you could potentially make very large amounts of this very, very easy. I'm going to add the rest. And I think the peppermint really complements the vanilla really nicely. Now you could also use dark chocolate as well. I think that is wonderful. And again, I'm going to use some of these cake sprinkles. Just kind of lightens it up a little bit. Just very lightly. How pretty that is. This is going to be wonderful. I'm going to pop this in the freezer and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's all set up. Okay, I just pulled this from the freezer and I'm going to show you just how easy this is. Now you can see that it sets up very quickly in the freezer. Actually, I set mine outside. It's like 30 degrees here in Ohio. And you're just going to break pieces of this just like this in little bite-sized pieces. See how lovely that breaks up? Simple as that. It's beautiful. It smells so good. You could actually make quite a bit of this if you have quite a bit of candy canes left over. And you just break it all up into nice bite sizes. And then you get your cellophane sack again. And look how pretty, just fill it. Just put it all in there. It's so pretty. Now it did not take a lot of chocolate to make this bag because I made mine a little bit thinner. I think it's a little easier to eat that way. And it's not so rich with every bite. You know, you don't have a huge piece of chocolate you're trying to gobble down. Look how pretty that is. And then I'm going to use this ribbon again. I just think this is lovely. Now this bark, you could add anything really, dried fruit. I think cranberries would be amazing with this. That's really my favorite way to eat white chocolate when I make the bark is the dried cranberries. But you could do any type of dried fruit that's your favorite and it would be wonderful. You could do nuts in there with it, any type of candies. This would be fun for a child's birthday party. Look how easy it is. Look how beautiful that is. That's a bag of love right there. Oh, somebody's gonna love getting this. And I think how easy. You just melt the chocolate, spread it out, sprinkle your goodies on it, and you have a lovely, quick, last-minute gift. Okay, one last peppermint treat out of candy canes, and I think you'll love this one too. This is from the peppermint sticks, and I got these at Dollar Tree at the beginning of Christmas season. And I'm going to be using the meltables, the Sweet Tooth Fairy meltables from Michael's again, only these are chocolate. They look so good. So I melted those down until everything's well blended and smooth. And I'm simply going to take this and I'm going to coat the entire end of this. You want to make sure if you're using the microwave that you don't overheat your chocolate. So you got the whole end. And then I went ahead and crushed up some more of my candy canes and I'm simply going to sprinkle them all over. Look how amazing that looks. My peppermint stick. Now after I get it coated, I'm going to lay it on the wax paper. I'm going to stick it in the freezer. I'm going to get it to harden up and then I'm going to bring it back out and I'm going to put it in a cellophane bag and I'll show you how I present that. But this is another wonderful way to reuse those candy canes. And this one my grandkids love. It makes an incredible mess, but they love this. Okay, I'm gonna tuck this in the freezer and I'll be right back. Okay, I just pulled the last peppermint treat out of these candy canes out of the freezer. Look how beautiful that is. This would be beautiful on a Valentine's Day table, on everybody's place setting. This would be lovely. Or you could have them at the door, and as everybody's leaving, they could take a favor with them. Or you could give them to your loved ones. Okay, another piece of the polka dotted ribbon that I got at Michael's. I also got the cellophane bags at Michael's too, if you guys are wondering. And I got the largest size that they had. So I'm just gonna tie a pretty little bow. And I'm all ready to go. I think these are so fun and yummy looking. Who wouldn't love to get that? How wonderful would this be on a Valentine's Day table at each place setting? It's beautiful. I think you guys will love this too. You're gonna love this one. This is another way to use up those candy canes from Christmas. We're gonna be making individual peppermint Valentine soap bars. And I love this because once you see how easy this is, you're gonna make soap bars a million different ways. In the summer, when I'm growing lavender, I'll dry some specifically to dry and make lavender bars with essential oils. I've done orange, I've done oatmeal, rose hips. The sky's the limit, and it's a wonderful gift to give. And it's also wonderful to have for yourself. I use this all the time for myself. We're gonna be using meltable glycerin soap, and this is goat milk glycerin. It's meltable and pourable, and it's super easy. You just put it in the microwave, and voila, you have liquid soap to put in your form to make a bar soap. I would also recommend having some sort of blade to cut the soap. You can use a knife. This is a fairly soft soap. I'll show you how easy this goes down through it. But this makes life a little bit easier. You can see how that goes through it very easily. And about 4 of these take about 8 of these cubes. From my experience. You're gonna need a mold as well, a soap mold. I've had this for years and years. They're very inexpensive and they'll last you forever. You can also make yours, those are easy as well. But I mean, I think probably this was $2 to $3, probably at Michael's. You can get them in all sorts of different shapes. It's so much fun, you're gonna love this. So I'm gonna pop this into the microwave and then I'll be right back and I'll show you just how easy this is going to be. Okay, we melted the goat milk glycerin and I added a tiny little dab of red food coloring, and it made it a lovely, pretty little pink color for Valentine's Day. And I think it'll be wonderful with the peppermint essential oil. So I'm gonna add that to it now, just like that. Now you're seeing soap in these other 2 forms. I did a practice run and I didn't like how dark I went with the food coloring, and that's the only way that you can learn is if you get in there and have some trial and error. So just a tiny dab on the end of your toothpick will make this beautiful. Look how pretty that is, that pink color. I mean, that's very Valentine's-y. And then we're gonna just pour them in the molds. There it goes. Oh, it smells wonderful. Just like that. Now, if you don't use all what's in your container or your vessel that you're melting, it's okay. It can harden up in there, then you can remelt it. That's the great thing about this. You're not really wasting. And you really don't want to overfill these molds too much because it'll distort the edges. So you're going to let this sit and harden up. And I'll be back in just a little bit and we'll add a little bit of the peppermint powder to the top, and you're gonna have a beautiful gift to give on Valentine's Day, or maybe keep them for yourself. But these are wonderful, they're easy, and I promise you, you're gonna do them time and time again. Here we are, 3 unique ways to use up those candy canes. And I love all of these, and they didn't take very long at all. You can make many of these in an afternoon for your loved ones. This might be my favorite. I just think it's so cute. A little heart, a little chocolate heart. And I'm gonna make some more of those for my little sugar buckets. And then this is like a bag of love. This is peppermint bark that I think anybody would love to receive. And then this wonderful candy cane stick tipped in dark chocolate, encrusted in crushed peppermint. Oh, that's gonna be wonderful. And again, I think these would make great favors, all of them, on a beautiful place setting for Valentine's Day. Wherever you guys are, I hope this finds you wonderful and well. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you all. Mwah. Another fun Valentine's Day gift using more of those candy canes. We're gonna make candy cane inspired goat milk soap, which sounds sort of gross now that I say that out loud. Microwave, and you don't overcook this because you can burn chocolate fairly easy, and since it's vanilla, those burn marks will show. Okay, we've melted the